Season 55, War number 3. Today we've matched up against XK9, and the bans are Corvus, Count Nefaria, Hulk, Silk, and Beta Ray Bill. And my team today is going to be Odin, Gladiator, and Prowler. This is going to be basically an all-out Prowler war. We have 8 fights this war, and 7 of the 8 are going to be taken with Prowler. Gladiator is for 1 fight, Odin is just for pre-fights, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to drop on this first defender here. And this is going to hopefully showcase how utterly ridiculous Prowler is, because 7 fights with 1 champion on the map who doesn't happen to be tactic for anything is pretty absurd. And every single mutant mini boss that they placed was like a perfect option for Prowler. So this is going to be a very fun war, if I do say so myself. I mean, I played it, so it was definitely a very fun experience in playing. And we're starting off against this Korg here on node 6. He's going to have a node where he is going to gain some physical resist if we crit him, but Prowler cannot crit, so that part does not matter. He also has combat deja vu prowess. If I just don't get hit by specials, that doesn't really matter. And at that point, we're just doing a normal Prowler rotation. Get the SP2 off with the Incinerate if we can help it, and then hopefully Korg drops relatively fast. He does have some crit resistance, which makes it a little bit harder to place ruptures on him, but we still got some decent crits on the SP2, and then he goes down in 45 seconds. So pretty great option for that fight. And then we're going to move on to this Storm Pyramid X on node 12, 15. And yeah, Prowler is going to handle this fight pretty easily, except I miss a parry at the start of the fight. So that also made my heavy attack kind of pointless, because heavy attack only places an Incinerate if the opponent was at 0 power, but because Pyramid X hit me a little bit, that did not place any Incinerate. So the power lock on Prowler's, well, his kit, not really on anything specifically from him. The power lock actually allows you to remove Storm Pyramid X's Tempests, which is super cool. And then you saw me just drop the SP2 into midair, but I knew that would hit her, because when the opponent is faltered, Prowler makes them fight more aggressively, so I knew she would not block that special 2. She would either just stand there or get hit by it. It's never a guarantee, but I was like 99% sure that she would not block that when I just threw it into the air, so I decided to go for it. Turns out it was worth it. And yeah, now we're fighting this Dazzler on node 23. This is Ebb and Flow Intercept, and the reason Dazzler is placed here is because she is going to place a falter when she dashes in. However, Prowler is completely immune to falter, so that does not matter one bit. It just makes Prowler like the perfect option for this fight. We do unfortunately use up our falter on it having to miss the special, so when I drop this SP2, I don't have any extra crit rating for my SIG ability and only get 4 of the ruptures, but that's okay. We just need to build back to another one, and the fight's going to be going down just afterwards. Gonna go for the special 2 here. There's 2 ruptures, and she's just done. So yeah, really easy fight for Prowler. And then we move on to Gladiator's fight against this Red Skull on node 32. I really just needed to bring a Cosmic champion that I felt most comfortable with taking for for Red Skull when I planned this war out, and that Cosmic I felt most comfortable using for Red Skull was Gladiator. So yeah, he is the Cosmic I chose to put on my team. And also, he does have a synergy with Prowler that gives them a 20% Fury buff when they launch SP2s, which is a very cool synergy. It's going to help our damage a little bit for both champions. The only downside to it is when I have to fight Bishop on node 39, I do need to be aware of Power Snack eating that Fury on my SP2 with Prowler. It's not really a big deal, but it can happen, so I'm going to avoid it if I can help it. And yeah, this Red Skull is basically dead. I should have timed my whiffing attacks into air a little better, but that was a little bit of a funny ending too. But we would have been fine even if we got hit there. But yeah, that is my only Gladiator fight. And now we have 4 mini-bosses we're taking with Prowler, starting with this Bishop on node 39. Done this fight before in the first war of the season. In fact, every single mini here was done before except the Onslaught this season. So yeah, that's unfortunately a little bit of repeats, but when I was planning this war, I was just like, it makes the most sense for me to be using my Prowler here. So even though I couldn't really get any fresh content, you could say, it's still gonna be pretty cool if I do say so myself, especially again because we're using 1 champions for 7 fights on the war map, which is pretty ridiculous. So Prowler is amazing for Bishop. Every time Bishop drops a special, you're just going to instantly gain 30 of your Fury passives, because Bishop doesn't consume his power until the end of his specials, so Prowler just does it before he can. And then once this power sting falls off, I'm going to go for another SP2. 4 ruptures on the first hit, and those were doing like 11,000 damage per tick. So yeah, Bishop got completely annihilated. And now we're fighting Northstar, who is going to be a lot more tanky than Bishop is, because Northstar's Sig ability makes this fight pretty annoying. He's going to gain a physical resist whenever he drops a special attack, which is going to cause my rupture damage to feel a lot worse. However, he's still like a perfect counter for this fight, because once the power reserve from Prowler's kit and also once the power reserve from Northstar's kit and from the node come online, Prowler just doesn't care because he's going to power drain the remaining power. So any power reserve, Prowler just completely cheeses basically, and that's why he's like the best option for this fight, is because there is literally no power reserve for you to worry about. So I'm going to go for the SP2 here, I think, or not. I don't know why I didn't. I probably should have. But now we're going to go for it, and the protection's going to come back mid-special, but it is going to go away at least at the very end when the ruptures start ticking again and expire. So we get a little bit extra damage there, but it could have been a little bit better. And yeah, he's still got that physical resist up. This Northstar looks like he's relatively high Sig, so that is going to put a lot of work in. However, we're going to go for the heavy attack here, remove the protection, and then the SP2, I believe, finishes the job. And yes, he goes down. So yeah, Prowler destroys 42 Northstar, and then the next fight is going to be against 43 Weapon X. 3rd war in a row taking this fight. This time we do have Odin, of course. Last war we didn't, but we didn't need it. And I think this one might be the cleanest one I did out of the 3. So let's just see how it goes, because I don't even remember. I think it went very well though. He goes into his Berserk mode, and then I'm gonna go for, okay, maybe it wasn't that clean. There goes my indestructible boost, but yeah, we're gonna get an intercept right there, and then I'm gonna bait a special, and then once he throws it, gonna go for the heavy counter and drop the special 2 immediately after he pops back up with the falter still active, because I knew he wouldn't block. So that might have been unblockable too, depending on my Fury count. If it was 30, it would have been unblockable. I did not look to see when I launched it if I was at 30, but I believe I was, so there was like no risk there. And then yeah, the second SP2 completely wipes him out. Looks like we crit on every single hit there. And then we only took a couple hits, so I'm gonna need 1 potion, but 7 fights with 1 potion is pretty insane. So yeah, now we're going to heal him up real quick and then fight this Onslaught. This fight was a little bit sketchy. Prowler is metal, so you cannot remove Onslaught's Neuroshocks. However, you're not going to be getting that many on you, because a lot of the reason you get Neuroshocked is when you crit Onslaught, and Prowler doesn't crit. So that was really stupid. I went for an intercept, and he just kind of walked up and did the stupid thing Onslaught loves to do. And then here he just doesn't want to drop the special one. Finally he does. The falter node literally doesn't matter, because I'm immune to falter, so that's pretty nice. And then I'm going to go for the falter here, because I don't have a Neuroshock on me. He cannot fail my miss, so I just kind of keep hitting him. and then the ruptures do a good bit of damage. I don't want to drop a heavy attack in this fight because I don't want to incinerate Onslaught, or else he's going to be placing a ridiculous amount of Neuroshocks on me. There's a world where I do it closer to the end to finish the fight off, but I just don't choose to do that. So, we're going to go for our second SP2 here. I'm not looking the best at health, but I know Onslaught's getting close to dead anyway. As you can see, now he's down to 20%. I'm getting a little bit of willpower healing too from the crush. So as long as I just keep playing it well and safely, the fight should be over, and then one more combo into this SP2 will do the trick, and that is Onslaught. That is the 8-fight war, 7 fights with Prowler, and yeah, I'm super happy with how that one went, especially since my Prowler's only a 6-star too. I have not pulled the 7-star version. I'm just waiting for the day that happens, because dude, he might be one of my favorite champions, or might be my favorite tech champion right now with arcade and stuff like that. Did lose the war 3-6, so that sucks. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, leave a like and a sub and all the YouTube things I'm obligated to tell you, and I will see you in the next one.